So for, let's say, for example, a person who earns 3,000 Maltese lira every year should divide that sum of last year's previously because once they retire here, there's not a need of paying a lot of taxes, so it's very, very welcoming. Besides, of course, the climate, the weather, etc. So this is St. Paul's Bay.
We've come to St. Paul's Bay. This is the bay where St. Paul was wrecked, and it is thought that the island that I'm going to come in and zoom in on is the island where in actual fact he was wrecked on, and there is a monument erected to St. Paul out there. Very windy still today. Close-up shot of the monument to St. Paul. It's very windy out here. Interesting historic place. To an old 100-year-old boat restaurant which is solidly on concrete here.
Did you get the bell?
Yeah, here's the bell.
1909.
Called the Black Pearl, 1909. What an atmosphere. Shows the stern of the boat. Looking forward. 1909, and it sank in the sewers and was sank down here. It's been restored. This thing was only opened 10 days ago, and I've taken the inside, of course. Very good.
But we're very lucky because our hotel is
Just
by the sea. The traffic is another big thing here. Commercial area of Catania. Catania is considered one of the...
Flower in 69 came down here.
Some shops, some very nice coffee shops, coffee bars, and it's very easy because I tell you, our hotel is located by the sea, and right in front of the hotel there's
See,
so I
Italy
suggest that you buy some bottle of water at the supermarket.
oh, this is our hotel on the morning after we got here at 1hr22min. This is from the balcony of our hotel, a particularly nice hotel. That's the Grand Hotel over there. It's the beach, so it should be pretty nice in the summertime. Another highway. These highways go through the tunnels and down the cliffs. Quite something. The main street of 1hr22min.
So that's the main coast of Sicily. You have at the north, about 50 kilometers from where we are, a city.
Walking up a nice street.
And there are a lot of beggars. They do that. That's their job. They come from Catania in the morning. They take the train in Catania. And you have to go all around. You will see it everywhere in Old 1hr22min. Is the three-legged Medusa.
We're going into a Roman, a Greek theatre. Look at this.
That's where a lot of people have a cold.
Right at the top.
The first day today without socks for me. So I hope, I cross my fingers, that I will not be sick tomorrow. So when we stay here and we go hard, they don't have enough money anymore. But that's always in the late afternoon and in the evening. On the top of the hill, which they call...
Another view from out there, right across to Mount Etna.
Oh, they come to New Zealand teacher. They teach us how. Well, I think they have their own Well, no problem. You can continue because you can hear my voice. You can continue making pictures. That's not a problem. Because we go higher, so we continue to see this view. And we are lucky. You are lucky today. Because we have some
See the bit of smoke coming out the top?
Anyway, I was trying to explain this.
Look at this brick. It's triangular in shape. Mount Etna. It's smoking.
This is just a beautiful view. Down to the sea. There's a pathway going up.
By the way, in the Second World War, it was also the base of the Germans. So in Taormina, we had the Germans. On the 9th of July, exactly the day that we celebrate San Pancrazio, our Pancrazio, Taormina was bombed because Castellari was there. So Taormina was bombed, part of that San Domenico was bombed. If you don't
This is a Greek temple.
That's Roman. But it's a little remains, the room of a Roman floor, which they call the mosaic. Mosaic, very simple one, but Roman. So we know that Rome destroyed the Greek temple. They didn't find us that important. And they covered it with something else, like for example this corridor was in origin of corridor all around the theater.
We're looking down on our hotel bay.
Because on that here you have that house, that building, which is the Marchese Bugucci. He was the second owner of Isola. So I think we are quite there. Of course, now we use citron wood, not like in a Greek age on stone. That's
That's our guy down there.
like, let's say more or less like in the Greek. Everything which is brick down below, that was could be a horseshoe shape there below, but also a circle, which was called orchestra. Orchestra. It's where the orchestra was, where the actors of the Greek dance dance.
Marketplace, look at all the silver sitting outside. This is the cathedral church of Taormina, and it was built originally as a fort, and then they came in and they converted to a church, which meant that they could use both for defending and for worship. Top of this Castellana mountain, we decided that rather than wait for the buses which run at all sorts of funny hours, we'd get a taxi. And so 4 of us hopped in the taxi, and what a ride, these windy roads. Only the Italians can make the roads as windy and as complicated as this. There is a walkway all the way down here, but we might run out of time walking all the way down there. Quite a view. stops wandering around the top of this mountain.
Look inside. Oh, look at the drawn thread with Nancy. Look at the drawn thread with.
Hanger. What do you call it?
I think they're going down the top of the hill. There's sheep down there. With bells.
Look, we've got the sheep on the road here. Pardon?
Look at the road.
Isn't it gorgeous? I took a photo of the sheep on my lens, and those houses up there I got in, and that goes down there all in the same.
This is the view of the bay looking across. We go up. We actually got Mount Etna, which at the moment, of course, is covered with cloud. It's a view of the houses at the top here. They build houses, just slap them into the hill and just build upwards with concrete and things. I mean, the Italians are great at the way they hang buildings on the side of the... little old house. Right down the gully to the sea. Quaint old house. Look at this spot to live. What a spot to live. There's a train pulling.
So he walked me down a couple of streets, and I just had enough, so I didn't want to be walking anywhere. It was a beautiful walk down tonight. It's incredible. So, and I've been practicing.
We've just come up on a mini sub. Just shows you, let's compare the size of Hugh to the sub.
The doll.
No.
This Tata Explosiva, this Tacabille.
Some old lady used to live in this and she died and hasn't been lived in since, and it's just kept that as a memorial thing. On the way up to Mount Etna. Part way up. We're 500 meters up.
Okay. So here you basically think you feel a little bit at home, because what people do sometimes is to go up the mountain with the snow and you enjoy the mountain, and then go down and have a swim in the sea of the Mediterranean. So a little bit of what you can do in New Zealand, I guess, because basically the the landscape is more or less the same: high mountains and the sea, and quite high mountains. How high is your highest mountain? Yeah, Mount Etna is 3,350 meters, or 3,340 meters, or 3,335 meters. You know, depends on the book and depends on the year the book has been published, because Anna Etnea, this is the last town, after which we just drive till we reach 7,000 feet, so 2,000 meter. We will not meet any other town but just houses, private houses.
There was a, when Etna blew up some time ago, the lava stopped just short of the chapel outside, which is the Virgin Mary, and she's been blessed ever since and is paraded through the town as a way of thanks for stopping the village from being destroyed. And this is a window, a door that's been done. We'll take its individual photographs closer.
By the way, does anybody need to wash your hands?
That's the Virgin Mary being possessed. Inside the church.
And it continued here.
So
But now we're to
lava and
D4.
rock from 2000.
Your camper ends up here too.
So it's very new lava and rock.
Here, you see here on the right for Etna. It's under there, still some.
This is the bus that we're having right through until we get to Lucca in Italy, by the way. And here we are, partway up the mountain, and we've just had a 70% alcohol little drink. My Joseph, it was hot. And this is the lava, and most of this has come down in 1992. Some of it not, some of it's old. And this is a very stopping off point for all the tourists. You go from here, we're going into so-called jeeps further up. In 1992, this area, you can see all the red dots, was a new lava flow, and it wiped out shops and road and everything. And of course, they're rebuilding it. This is a huge tourist area. The number of trucks and buses down further is huge. Quite sure what this is. Must be from the top of the mountain, different coloured areas for different reasons. And here we are waiting for the big jeeps to come and take us down. So this is our group down in front. You can see the number of tourists around. Looking back to the lava flow that stopped just in time, but did not easy. Mountain buggy. Well, we've arrived at the top of the mountain. It's looking upwards, and you can see the spume coming out of the top. Snow. The steam coming out of the top there. Is this? Well, we've arrived at the top of a crater. There are several on this mountain. Spuming very nicely. So we're right in the mouth of a volcano. Hope it doesn't blow up. Thousands of visitors on this place at the moment. This is our guide.
Let me introduce you to Marco. He's our guide, a specialist in Mount Etna. So we'll Canis was erupted in 2001, between 2001 and 2003. So till last year, the last eruption. Two craters were formed.
Questo qua è il più grande, la sua altezza è 2940 metri.
This is the largest crater, and it's 2,940 meters high.
All'interno ancora abbiamo una temperatura che va dai 4...
Temperature still now it's between 400 and 600 degrees Celsius. with humidity, you're able to see some steam because of the water.
Durante l'eruzione,
After eruption, that means
2002,
2002, 2003, basically one of last year, we had big eruptions coming from that crater.
con le esplosioni venivano
Explosive eruption, remember the ones I was telling you on the bus? It was an explosive eruption, and during those eruptions, some rocks used to be pushed out from the craters.
arrivavano fino a 1000 metri di altezza.
And sometimes some of those huge rocks were pushed at 1,000 meters high. Telling you, the ashes, which was the the lightest part of these explosions, reached Africa. Came out from the second crater. Came of a whole house which was here.
Attualmente si trova sotto 5 metri di
And
sabbia.
this house now, it's under 5 meters of volcanic ashes.
Ok, adesso facciamo una piccola passeggiata.
And this is, he decided to go back up to the jeeps. The steam coming off in our face. It's very cold up here. The top end of the volcano.
Abbiamo
It's all
delle
warm
piccole
here.
fratture dalla quale risale vapore acqueo a 40-50
We're looking down on the
So here we
clouds.
are in the top of this crater, and here we have some cracks from where some steam, water steam comes up.
This sash is all warm in my hand. It must be about 15, 20 degrees of heat. That's the road we came up on.
When you come here.
Tim, isn't it?
That's Tim.
Yeah. Tim on the edge of this volcano.
Erupted in 2003. And that sulfur down there. That's the jeep going down the road. It really is a spectacular sulfur colour, isn't it? That's looking down to the coast. Another view of this volcano,
Yeah,
looking down the valley.
I've got my earlines on up there, here down below. You can almost see the...
But that's too
It is, but I'm just telling you.
Looking right down into the source of the steam. They're 400 degrees Celsius. Sofa.
degrees. You want to touch? But I can feel it under my feet. The noise of Etna, it's like thunder, like these big bows, you know, it's fascinating. Even from Taormina, you know, when there are eruptions, from Taormina you can hear Etna. And it's spectacular at night because you see the fire, it's like fireworks. The fire coming up from the dark and this big bow, you know, you hear from far away. It's fascinating. Okay, maybe if we wait a little bit more.
Is there a crater lake up there?
Sorry?
A crater
lake?
lake?
Oh, no lakes.
No,
No, laghi. Non ci sono laghi di lava.
no, no.
Almost like a volcano.
It's lovely walking down with the steam coming across, and it's lovely and warm. And that's where we walked around the rib, up there, all the way down. Lots of steam. Told that the lava is 3,000 meters below us, so hopefully it stays there today.
Oh, sulfur.
Sulfur.
So, is that sulfur?
Scory, well, just like at home.
Oh, it's well impressive.
Oh yes.
That's incredible, isn't it?
And do you think that's because
Old man's beard.
Yes, I think so.
What the wind has done to the ice. This is the buried hut. Just shows you what happened. So on the way around the coast of Sicily,
and then from there send them
see some of these tunnels
over
that come up.
Italy, because we were the first one to be liberated. It was July
everywhere.
43 when the Americans and the British landed in Sicily. The Americans, they bombed the place, and actually they thought that the weapons were hidden in the Cathedral of Messina, so they launched a huge bomb which exploded inside the Cathedral of Messina and destroyed it completely. At the time, we really did not know who the enemy was, if the Americans, because we were fighting together with the Germans, or the Germans themselves, because at that time we really were very although they were supposed to be the enemy, if you see pictures of little, most of the time, you see that everybody's quite happy and they welcome them, because even the soldier who had to fight against the Americans many times actually welcomed them and helped them to. It's a group of 7 islands, beautiful islands, probably for the big activities.
We're actually driving up the northern coast. Just quite a long way on these beautiful autostradas. That's very interesting information that Sicily, of course, produces huge quantities of oranges, and the European Union, when they joined with Italy, said no, you cannot export your oranges. The only people that can export oranges will be Spain. And so in order to overcome this problem, the Sicilians turned their oranges into juice. Nobody said anything you couldn't export juice, and they export their juice all over the place. Seems crazy, doesn't it? It's a sanctuary up there.
So basically we have a
Built in the 9th century.
But even more than that, we cannot accept the idea of any one polytheism.
On the left here is this overpass. For me, that sounds the answer to a lot of problems with motorways. Build another one on top of the other one.
Distributes the other saints and virgins, they all be under.
In the middle of a tunnel. Some of these tunnels are very, very long. This one is going on for ages and ages and ages. So it just shows you how hilly Sicily, particularly on the coast, really is. And apparently the autostradas are on the north side, but not so much on the south and west side of the island. Of course, they're talking about putting a bridge across from Sicily to Italy, which is about 2 kilometres. This has been advocated for years and years and years, and there's been lots of controversy about whether that should be so, or whether they should really spend the money on the rest of the island for autostradas to enable quicker access around the island, because sometimes it can take 6 hours to get around the other side of Sicily. That's the motorway,
and they're all these
still being
potteries
completed up there.
and vases and plates hanging on the walls. So what we can do, of course, there's
Look at the height of these things. They're building this new motorway, and it's just astounding height in this place. It's raining. Look at that for a bend in the road.
Well,
Another IRA one.
how lucky we are. We're going to see one of the most modern train we have in Sicily.
Church, which of course is built in Norman style. There's quite a story attached to why it's a Norman style, to do with the different citizens that used to be here, with the Byzantines and the Greeks and the Normans and Jews and everything. And it's built really like a temple, a Muslim temple, but of course they were actually made into Christian churches. Yeah, we just went to a wedding in progress. This is the square. It's raining. Two maidens dressed in coats. We had to buy these because it's so wet. Here we are. He's so old to have grown up to that height and still be producing. What is more, it's grey out of the rock. Three travellers beside a shop. Says how narrow the roads are. I'm photographing with a plastic bag around the camera.
There's a funny looking seahorse in the front of these boats too, Glenn.
Is there?
Oh, down here.
I'd like to get it.
It looks a cross between it up.
Funny looking sign on the boat. We're standing on the edge of the pier. They're so different. A little wee beach with the little boats.
No postcards inside?
Carefully from the air.
What's it, Maya?
been.
Palermo is Panormos. Pan means all, Ormos means port, harbor. A big harbor, old harbor. And the port has always played a very important role in the economy of Palermo. But as I said, Palermo has never been a Greek city called Carthagena that Palermo had in the Middle Age. Nowadays, many of them were destroyed, and this is the only one which is still in that condition, very well kept. Also because in the 1500, when Charles V, the emperor, arrived in Palermo after its battle in Tunisia, he entered Palermo from that gate, so they gave that gate again the name of Charles V, Gate Charles V. It's a beautiful, didn't want to, on the right, this is the modern facade at the tower. The tower is the original one of the 12th century, while the facade there is later on of the 15th century. This is a big garden with a lot of palm trees. And now, in a few seconds, we will reach the cathedral.
Wow.
The cathedral. He said it's one of the most beautiful in the world. It's not apparently very spectacular inside, but it's sure spectacular on the outside. The buildings on the left. That's the entrance to the cathedral. We're inside the cathedral and I'm standing right at the back, zooming in. The ceiling is not ornate at all. A side chapel. Another side chapel. Some sort of line across here, I don't know what it is. Just found out this is the latitude and longitude.
Look at the Alps.
Just coming down the main street of Palermo.
Lava stone and tuffo and sandstone. And now, as we said, we're going to reach the Baroque area. So, as I said, 4 fountains representing 4 seasons. Second level, 4 Spanish affecting that quarter. So that's the meaning of these 4 corners. Fountain of the Shade. When they decided to rebuild it here, it's a shame for the people in Palermo, and since that moment, when the fountain was put here, it was the 17th century, everybody called this. Okay, yeah.
Outside of the church. Our wedding is going to be held, so we're going to have to get out of it. We have to get out of it.
And behind is a Byzantine church. You see? And that's a creek.
This is a beautiful fountain. It's called a fountain of shame because it was ordered by some rich guy in Florence who couldn't afford to pay for it all, and it was bought here and put here, and everybody said what a shame that it didn't go to Florence. There's the Arabic style on the right and the Christian on the left, how they've blended the religions together.
Yeah.
This is one of the four corners of this street. The horse cart just went by. The Botanical Garden of Palermo.
And after it, one of the several gardens of Palermo, green area of Palermo, Villa Giulia, the park of Palermo.
Down to the sea.
And here we've reached the trees. They used to throw the trash here. It was all full of rubbish.
This is driving along the waterfront.
Something very interesting is we're going to see on the left side some palaces from the 15th century and some walls. The walls we see there are called the walls of the bad women. This place was very very populated during Sunday mornings because people used to go for a walk here on the Sunday morning, except widows. Widows were not allowed. Oh, there was a path there. You see that balcony? Here the walls start here. See, they used to walk up there so they could see everybody, but nobody could see them. Now, why bad women with the Moorish? And on the right side, the old port of Palermo, the so-called Cala, which is very interesting, 15th century. St. Mary
right in the middle of the city.
The chain. St. Mary of the chain. Why of the chain? It's very used for weddings, and you can see that. Maybe because of the name, the chain. Who knows? Actually, the fact is that in the past, during the pirates and the Turkish invasion, they used to close this port with a huge chain. From that, it's going, the one we're going to take to Cagliari, to Livorno, to Genoa, to Tunisia, leave from different place. Se prendiamo dal ponte, sì. Se no, prendiamo da via...
Sotto?
No, sopra. area was very much bombed during World War II, and you can still see some of the buildings have been fixed, some others are really in bad condition. A famous hotel, beginning of the 20th century. During World War II, the Nazis occupied it. You managed to see it or not? Now, well, in a few minutes you will. It's right on the top of is one of the most famous hotels of the area. 3 meals, 3 rooms. All you have to do is to be part of the market if you want. Or steal a rope. 1hr22min. This was built by the Bourbons outside the city walls, so this was away at the time in the 19th century, late 18th century, beginning of the 19th century. 1hr22min. In the same place, this place was called 1hr22min because during the Middle Age, when the French for a while were here in Sicily, this place was cultivated with artichokes. In French, chardon. Chardon. Beginning of the 1800s, a beautiful street was cut, Viale delle Libertà, the Avenue of the Liberties. At the time, the city, everybody, all the cities in Europe had to imitate was Paris. Paris was the symbol of elegance and beauty, and all the cities in Europe tried to copy it. Palermo did the same thing, but Palermo did something more. They wanted to create something more beautiful than Paris. Copying Paris was not enough for Palermitans. They wanted to do more. They wanted to do it something better. That's why they cut a long avenue which wanted to be nicer than Champs-Élysées in Paris. At the time there was a competition in Europe about the most beautiful avenue. Well, Palermo beat Paris twice. That means that this avenue here was considered much more. Palm trees everywhere. Here from right to left, Avenue of the Liberties, Viale delle Libertà. Unfortunately, this is not as charming as Champs-Élysées.
Another street. We're doing an exploration of Palermo because we're catching the ferry boat this evening.
And these modern buildings, sometimes if you look you will discover some really beautiful palaces, original palaces of the time. Along this main street, this is very long and reachable theatre, the Opera House of Palermo. And continuing along the same street you will reach again the Four Corners, where we were before. So this street here basically goes all the way straight until the Four Corners, where we were at the beginning.
Yeah, this one's diggings.
She's not impressed.
Right side. With a statue of Garibaldi. Theatre. Not from the Opera House. It's called Polythema Theatre. Polythemas, different representation, different themes, different subjects, but not the opera. Look at the... So if you want to come back here to take some more picture, you can when we get off. This is very crowded even at night. A lot of restaurants. As we go along the same street, we're going to reach the Opera House of Palermo, the largest theatre of Palermo and the third largest in Europe. It was 2 medieval monasteries, which was a big waste. But if you look at the Opera House nowadays, it really is something. And it's another big symbol of the nice, elegant Palermo. Now, there it is on the right side.
This is the theatre in Palermo. This is a statue of Verdi. Looks pleased with himself, as somebody said. Probably a better sight of the whole theatre now that we're stationary. Lovely splash of colour right outside the theatre. As our Gaetano said about flowers in Italy explode. It's so beautiful. We're going to wash our hands in a nice place somewhere down this narrow street.
This was the other one.
With Gaetano. He's quite a guy. Well, we're on our ferry boat to go over to Corsica. Or Sardinia, I'm not quite sure yet. Sardinia. This is supposed to be the solarium or something. There's some of our group with Gaetano. There's another boat coming in apparently. Quite large boats. Should be an interesting night. Pretty calm. Let's hope it stays that way. Back of Sardinia, and we are going to arrive at Cagliari down here. And from there we're going to make our way up the coast to a place called Arbitrex, right there. Eventually we go further up and we actually leave on the way up north to go to Corsica. Well, here it is, 10:30 in the morning, and we've just arrived at Cagliari in Sardinia after a very calm overnight trip in a ferry. They're all well, and this looks like a splendid harbour. The one we left was very, very busy with boats. Looks like a tug that's going to do something for us. It's good getting a shot from the sea because you don't often get this side of the city. Naval boat vessel. So this harbour seems to be protected by a lot of concrete weirs. We seem to be being turned around, and this tug here is pushing us very powerfully, stirring up all the mud which must be underneath because this is a stern-loaded boat. We're getting around there slowly. I'm surprised that they didn't turn it around before and reverse in. However, that's how close we are to the shore. Look how close he is to the other boat. He's stern going around, coming in, and he's going to moor alongside him. That's where all the... We'll probably have a gangway that goes off down there. No idea what it is. Oh, the coloured flags down there, we have no idea what it is. This is a lovely main street. There they are, they're getting our steps ready. It's just got a castle on the top of it.
So of course, by the judge who control.
Well, this is a wide vision of Sardinia. It really is a big farm area, big cropping, agricultural area. They've got more sheep here than people, and that's that perfect cone volcano over there. We're going to a pile of rocks right over here. It's a picture on the wall of the cone and this pile of rocks called Part2. This is first the old archaeological site.
2000 years by this population. The first period is the 16th century BC. For the first time was inhabited in the Bronze Age, and was abandoned about in the 3rd century AC, in the Roman time. And this was the computer reconstruction of the main building 3,500 years ago. This was the nuraghe. It's the first time that you visit this kind of building. Nuraghe for the Sardinian population, like a shelter in the winter time or summer.
These are the big blocks of this nuraghe, which is a huge stone. This is the entrance to a round building which is used to defend the main fort. Still climbing up. This is looking down to one of the pits. Huge place. This is an overview of this huge large area. There are about 250 houses here. This is the top of the stones, and looking down to a shot to show how green it all is. scrapes. It scrapes this side of the valley. We're right in the middle of Sicily, going along mountain roads. It's so different to where we've come from in Sicily.
This area here is still around little vineyards, very short. And they produce.
We're coming into a mountain village called Gono.
Very, very bad luck in Italy. Yes, once. Because imagine that during trials, you know, and nowadays what you do is to swear on the Bible, you know.
I'll just leave the camera as it is, straight ahead, just to show you what this is like.
Bungee jumping time?
Way up in the mountains. I'm holding the camera dead straight ahead of me. Interesting to look at. I'm just holding the camera dead straight, you know, and just as he drives, you're going.
Getting car sick.
Yes.
I was about to tell you actually that I'd like my copy of the video of the holiday to have a bit of the old
sway.
A bit of swing and sway.
You've been bungee jumping. Bungee? You know what it is?
Yeah, I know, but I never done it.
Do they do it around here?
Yes, they do it. But
Very sensible.
New Zealand has started that. It's all around the world. Make use of old bridges, stroke the holes in.
well, you have to make sure it's safe because you know that can do that. Just jump them.
Oh, they haven't got the Kiwi patent that one.
Just like New Zealand pine trees. It's just like being in New Zealand with all these pine trees around.
No, we are at we're now.
We're 950 meters high up in
Yeah,
the
no,
snow
there's
area,
snow,
but it's not
yes.
snowy, of course. Nearly at 1,000
Oh, I
meters.
don't mind the noise either. They just... Well, you never know, don't you? My word. And Piglet. And Piglet too? Well, we could easily see Piglet on them. That is so rapid. It is, isn't it? It's spectacular. It's a river down here. You sure? It's like just moving. Yes, there's a dam. Yes.
hydroelectric plant below.
Yes, no, this is wonderful. It's a stick. Gusana. G-U-S-A-N-A. Yeah, I've got a look.
Well, this railway trips way up into the middle of Tunisia. Climbing, climbing, climbing. We've arrived at this mountain village station called Cairo. That's where we came from. This is the group just waiting around for our guiding tour. We're going climbing. This is our train. We're not going back by train, we're going back by coach. Well, here we are up on this high hills, about to go tramping with all our crew and things. It's going to be very interesting, I'm sure. Look at the stones on the roof of the building. Not quite sure, to keep the tiles off maybe. Little mountain cyclones. We're at a grotto.
No, I don't think so. Might be a cathedral in there. They made little,
Guys, in a big grotto cave.
You're a very good climber.
The border was the gate. Over another one.
That's where we've come from. That's where we're going to. Looks like we've reached the top, came through the grotto into this heavily bushed area.
Anyway,
This is a nuragi, we were told.
Yes. And it doesn't spell like that at all. It's got a Z.
Nuragiko, that's what it is. This is the layout of this fort. It's a photograph of it. That's a better view of it. Shows you how high we've actually climbed. These are the surrounding hills. And this is another Nuraggio tower which has collapsed. This is the entrance. This is the inside of the main hall, which gives you a good illustration of how they built this thing thousands of years ago. There's some of the local natives coming down here.
The local natives, God, they'd be faster than I am.
That's looking right to the top of this tower.
For this Nuraggio,
Yes.
and we can't go any further because there ain't no further to go. And we're standing on the top of this big tower which we filmed down below. And this has been incredible.
It's a
Really
long
has,
way from the
incredible journey.
Maritime Museum.
He's doing a good job here.
He is. He is.
Benny.
Well, Sammy Davis, what are you doing for the...
Go.
This Nuragi was built somewhere between 3,800 and 3,000 years ago. That's 1800 BC down to 10,000 BC. 1,000 BC. Correction.
The thing in front, this thing in front of Brian's called a teasel,
Of New Zealand.
and he uses it to scratch his back actually. So
Anyone
this is
else
for,
that I can
for,
find?
for, what, for
Blow it up like that and then get it developed like that. I might have to buy one. So that's a Casio. Oh, no, it's amazing.
You've been past that town yesterday. It wasn't the one we just went.
The village was destroyed down there. That's where we've come from. In here for a Sardinian luncheon experience to taste all the wines and the special Sardinian dishes. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Here we are. This is in we've had a picnic in a very nice park up here, and this is the forest that we're going for walkies in. Not quite sure what the timbers are, but it's very nice woods in some respects, not too thick in the undergrowth. Well, this is where we are. If you can interpret it, then you're a better man than I am, Gungadin. Another one of these pile of stones.
I wonder why.
On top of the Nuragi.
All these drunk people going on up here. We've come to the top of a pile of rocks down here through the forest. We are very high up the mountains. We've got to go right down to the sea level to get back to our hotel. We had a wonderful lunch, Sardinian style.
And we're as drunk as skunks.
Yes, we are. I'm shaking with the camera's shaking.
Miles, you fall over. Miles.
We're taking the Glen, what is it, the Master of the Glen?
Yes, that's me. People crawling down there, he's trying to get down the bottom there through this lovely bush. Gillian wanted me to take these woods.
We came up that railway.
You've been there, done that. Yeah. I think you're going to be out of luck when it turns around the right again. I don't.
Through the big hill.
That's beautiful. Apples, look at the apples.
Like on the hill. red rocks of Abertax looking out right here behind you. Those are the rocks. Big bay. Huge bay. They're spectacular. They're right. So these are the red rocks.
Sure.
Big cliffs. This huge structure is opposite our hotel. Looks like a oil derrick that's being built. As that for an old olive tree. The size of the roots. That is very, very old. Outside our hotel. This complex from our bedroom window. There's a home in on a man that's sitting looking down the size of the man. Look at the size of the complex. We've come across some very old olive trees.
11th century.
These are 11th century jobs. There's another huge olive tree.
Probably about 2 more than do me.
You can, from way across the bay there, you can see that big structure. There's a little church up here where we came to, which had a little story attached to it. There's this old tree.
Maybe they're still angry because...
Just go and meet me in there, stop. Just try. No, not from there, from the window.
We're going down towards the sea.
Meg, I'm taking a few, but we yeah. Well, it's just to get that right.
Poor old Romans trying to civilise the people here. How did they get here? We stopped at a tunnel. We're not quite sure whether we can fit through or not, but it's bus is 390 and the height is 3 meters, so we're going to watch and see.
Stop the traffic coming in from there.
Got it. Here's our group marching down to the waterfront for lunch in this beautiful spot. This is called Cala Galoni. It's a port, and they used to export things over to Italy a long time ago, whatever they produced, but it's very much a resort town and very touristy. Now they're looking out to sea out there. There's a marina down our left, and we just have a swipe around. Well, we've had lunch and just taking a swipe around this place. This is a little port It really is a tourist town and a holiday resort really now.
On the way back we'll pass by. Spanish barons used to settle. What happened was that the barons, Spanish family basically, used to work this way. The first son and used to inherit everything, all the lands. The second son choice was only to become a monk or priest. Actually not a monk, but a priest. But usually if it becomes from, it was part of a